What's that supposed to be, some kind of sick joke?
No, sir.
What is it supposed to mean?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know very much, do you?
No, sir.
You better get your head and your ass wired together, or I will take a giant shit on you.
Yes, sir.
Whose side are you on, son?
Our side, sir.
Thanks for checking into Sambo's place. Did the biscuit test and not happy with the results. We're gonna get to that in a second. A couple things that we need to go over first of all before I start getting too long-winded. This Weber Smoque, this is for you set it and forget it people, you know? You just wanna set it and forget it and get it done. So I contacted Weber and I asked him a few questions and I heard back from him. According to Weber, the Smoque is designed to be a 4-in-1, set it and forget it, targeting low and slow cooking. So you smoke, roast, braise, and bake. I like to see if you can add char grilling to that and maybe even some griddling to that because the full-size griddle does fit. There it is. I mean, it fits. There's some space over here. You can only fit the small insert. The Smoque is not currently a full griddle insert or rotisserie compatible. Keywords, not currently. What does that mean? Does that mean they're gonna come up with a rotisserie that's gonna fit the Smoque? Does that mean that they're gonna have a grill insert that's gonna fit the Smoque? Or maybe they're not even gonna suggest you try and grill with it. But you wanna know something? After what I saw from the biscuit test and the amount of heat that piles up on the left-hand side, I'm gonna give the griddle a try. So, the Smoque is intended to target consumers looking for a pellet grill specifically for low and slow cooks. Unlike the Searwood, which has the high temperature of 600 degrees and manual modes, the Smoque exists to target key wood pellet grills in the market, such as the Traeger, Pit Boss, etc., with its low temperature ranges. It's directly from Weber. So I did some research, and it seems that these pellet smokers, grills, fall into two categories. You have the 8-in-1 category, and then you have the 4-in-1 category. Or they want to do 8-in-1, and they try and do 8-in-1, or they try and do a 4-in-1. So it's either one of the two categories. What's an 8-in-1 pellet grill? Okay, well, you could smoke, you can roast, you could braise, you could bake, you could barbecue, you can griddle, you could sear, and you can char grill. Those are the 8 all-arounder all-in-ones, like the Searwood does impeccably well. And then there's the 4-in-1s, which is what this is targeting, where it's basically just a smoker, a roaster, a braiser, and a baker. I'd like to see if we could add a couple more to that. Shopping around the internet, see if we could find what this Smoque actually goes up against. Here's what I found. Forget the Camp Chef. They don't have anything in this size of a 34 or a 36 inch. And the Woodwind 36 starts at $14.99, so it's not even in the ballpark with the Smoque. So there's the Pit Boss Navigator series. There's a 1300 and an 1150 with a 100 to 500 temperature range. Versatile cooking options very similar to the Searwood. The 1150 has 1159 square inches of cook space, and the 1300 has 1329 square inches of cook space. They are $989 and $999, right in the price range of the Smoque. There's the Traeger Pro series, and they focus on low and slow, just like the Smoque. Temperatures from slow smoke, which I'm guessing is 180 or 200, they really don't say, up to 450 degrees. There's a couple different models ranging in price from $729 to $899, and they have approximately 884 square inches of cook space. There's the Z-Grills Powerhouse 1000. It's another 8-in-1 type grill and smoker that goes from 180 degrees to 450 degrees. Now, I don't know how you could claim to be a competitor with 8-in-1 if you're only going up to 450. I'm not sure how much you're searing at 450. You have 1,056 square inches of cook space, and right now they're on sale for $777. I've never had any experience or know anyone that has a Z-Grill. Oklahoma Joe's Ryder DLX 1200, and the temps range from 200 to 650 degrees with a built-in sear mode. Almost 1,200 inches of cook space and it retails for $899. Again, it's an all-arounder, an 8-in-1, which is very similar to the Searwood. It is currently out of stock as I'm making this video in the early stages of August 2025. Lastly, I found the Rectech Deck Boss 800. Now, do know that this is smaller than the Smoque. It retails for $999, and there's 810 inches of cook space. It has a 180 to 700 degree range. So again, you have another multi-purpose, try to be an 8-in-1 grill smoker. By the way, the Smoque has a total of 918 square inches of cook space. Now, I want to digress for a second here because I thought I knew everything about pellet smoking when I went from my Pit Boss to my smoke fire. I noticed that there was a lot of smoke leakage on the smoke fire. I never had any smoke leakage on my Pit Boss. And a couple of things I noticed. First of all, there's a lot of smoke escaping from the front of this grill, much more so than during my Pit Boss days. And then I thought I would be smart by installing lava locks, Nomex, high temperature gasket. I did put some Nomex heat tape on the curvature of this grill cover. And I intend to put another strip across the front and maybe a strip across the bottom of that ash pan. I did that on the smoke fire and I basically choked it, which is probably one of the reasons in retrospect I was never really able to sear on that grill and was frustrated with it. Nevertheless, when I got the Searwood, I noticed that there was even more smoke leakage. Lots of smoke leakage on this baby. We got smoke leakage down underneath where the ash pan is. We got smoke leakage on the side. Whoo, look at that pouring out. So I thought I was being smart and I installed the Nomex on the Searwood, and my biscuit test was horrible. Inconsistencies all over the place. Somebody messaged me and told me about, hey, maybe you shouldn't have the tape on there. I peeled it off and I redid the test, and guess what? Wow, I'll tell you what. I'm a man enough to admit that I was wrong. And quite obviously, adding tape, that little bit of tape that was added to this pit definitely changed the results. Not only was I wrong, but the Searwood was incredibly balanced with heat throughout the entire unit. We set the temperature at 350 to do the biscuits. Here's the result. So after 12 minutes, we have some interesting results. And you can hear that the grill is still going. We have some very inconsistent zones here. You could see that this unit has quite a strong fan, which is blowing much of the heat down to the left-hand side. The upper rack is definitely receiving more heat, more convection throughout the grill. And the right-hand side, I mean, there is barely any doneness over here whatsoever. Not really sure where to go with this. In fact, I think I'm gonna redo the biscuit test. My Smoque didn't do a very good job on the biscuit test, as you saw. Temperatures were all over the place. Is it mine? Is it just a one-off issue? I don't know. Is it a flow bench issue? Is it the new smoke vent system? Is it a PID controller issue? Is it a programming issue? Is that fan blowing too hard, which I think it is? Because if Weber, if you're listening, maybe there's something you could change in the software that pulses that fan or slows down the fan so you don't have all the heat going to the left-hand side. Or again, is this just a my Sambo's Smoque issue? I'm not sure. But what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna repeat this test. I'm gonna do it over, but instead of setting it to 350 like the directions on the biscuit can says, I think I'm gonna set it to 225 like a low and slow smoke, and we're gonna see what the results show us for that.
2 hours later.
What a pain in the... When you start up your Weber Smoque, you could barely hear this thing running. Take 2 on the biscuit test. We got this rolling up to 225. We're gonna do a simulated low and slow.
Much later.
Okay, so after going low and slow 225 for 30 minutes, I bumped it up to 250. Now we're looking at some very consistent results here. Now we have a little bit of dark browning and maybe some burning up here in the front on the left-hand side, and up underneath we're looking golden brown across the top. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is the consistency that we're looking for here on the Smoque. Okay, takeaways and initial impressions. Fit and finish, paint, beautiful. Weber makes beautiful products. I mean, the Smoque Fire was just the sexiest pellet grill that I thought they ever came out with, and these aren't too bad looking either. Scratch resistant, will hold up to the effects of Mother Nature, phenomenal. Love it. Things went together well with the pit. The first biscuit test we did, not so good. Fan blew hard, blew all the heat in the smoke to the left. Second time we did this, wonderful. Consistent, heating, browning, smoking throughout with the biscuits. This is what we're looking for. And we turned out with beautiful biscuits. I mean, golden brown, nothing really burned under the inside. I am very confident that this is gonna be a wonderful low and slow smoker. As it comes to roasting, the fan modulating the way it did, it blew everything to the left-hand side, all the heat, all the smoke. With the 225 and 250, it was very even. It ran so quiet that I could hear the auger turning and I couldn't even hear the fan blowing, but I did check and the fan was blowing. It modulated and pulsed throughout the entire time that we ran this test, so I'm assuming that it's going to continue that when you have some meat on there. I'm looking very forward to doing some low and slow smokes on this and getting back to you. Can Sambo's Place recommend this right now? To be continued. I want to do some smoking and cooking on it. But for right now, after that second biscuit test on low and slow, I'm thinking that this is going to be a performer. Hey, thanks for checking in to Sambo's Place. We'll see you back soon.